Welcome to The Final Assessment, a podcast about evil. I'm Jean.
I'm Victoria.
Oh, God. Today, Season 2, Episode 12, D is for doll. I hate it.
She doesn't like dolls at all.
I don't like dolls. I'm like creepy doll. That's redundant. But you repeat yourself. Okay. What are we to make of Monsignor's gullibility? Or is Monsignor also a demon? I don't know.
Monsignor is an idiot.
I don't even understand. Okay. I understand what Leland's doing and he's selling himself and all that. I don't understand, even if the Monsignor assumed that everything Leland said was true and all that, what is the purpose of bringing him in?
I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that he's a total idiot. I mean, number one, Leland isn't really... He shouldn't be involved in any of it. He's not practicing a religion.
Kristen and Ben aren't practicing either.
But Kristen was, right. And Ben was at one point, so they understand the religion part.
I think it's wild because he has just been recently exorcised of having admitted to, selling his soul to the extent that any of this stuff means anything. So he's admitted to selling his soul, which is why he needed an exorcism. And I get it. You get cool points for admitting your sin and trying to achieve reconciliation. That's great. That's awesome. But, I mean, this is a situation where it's like, you can forgive but not forget. It's crazy to me that you're going to say somebody, a self-admitted former Satanist, yeah, come on in. I know you've been better for 5 whole minutes. A follower of Satan, a theistic Satanist, mind you. Okay. Yes, they would absolutely have no motivation to lie, and they would not be able to do it successfully. Surely, right, Monsignor? I mean, none of it makes any sense.
Well, I think that's why Sister Andrea is there too. She's like
God bless her.
Serving them tea and
drops it right on his lap.
Yeah, she does, and it is great.
I love it.
Yeah, she's looking out for him.
Yeah, I'm always grateful for the Sister Andrea character because I don't know how any of this would have shaken out without her.
Yeah, I mean, she is amazing.
So Andrea is helping David prep. He's coming up on his ordination, and she's helping him prepare for it, warning him about Leland. Like, he doesn't need any warnings about Leland. He knows. Yeah. What can any of them do when the Monsignor is like fucking idiot? I mean, what?
Yeah, and I guess there's doubts before you get ordained or whatever. But Sister Andrea is telling them, she's like, I have a gift and you have a gift too, and we have to use it.
Yeah, she's got a sad story here, which she'll share the full extent of it at some point, and we'll talk about it when she kind of reveals the whole thing. I think it's the idea is like the church always makes these weird marriage analogies, and I understand that it's harkening back to, and it's not just the Catholic Church. Christian churches in general. There are several points in the Bible where the Bible actually analogizes Jesus and the church as his bride and all this stuff. To me, Christian churches in general get way out of pocket with the analogy. I don't know why this is the particular analogy that you chose to get very strange with, but it is. And I've got my theories about it, but we're not going to talk about my theories because that's not what this podcast is about. But psychologically, I think it's very much like a lot of people starting to get cold feet before their wedding because they're like, my entire life is going to change now. My entire status. So you're getting married, you have bachelor parties or bachelorette parties, and for some people it's like this one last hurrah, and some people do inappropriate things. And I think this is very much the same thing because he's going into a situation now where he's like, yeah, theoretically, I can't just roll up in the bar and get a lady anymore. Like those days are over. Going for long runs and getting ecstasy at the corner, those days are done.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, if you took your vows the way that everybody believes people, I'm not even going to say take them seriously because I think we can't. I honestly think at some level you can't even. Nobody was serious about this. I mean, people say they are. But again, we go back to if anybody believed any of the stuff they say, nobody would live the way they do. I mean, it's just, I think that goes for everybody. I'm judging myself here too. So when I say, well, the vows be taken seriously, some people take them seriously, and those people usually end up getting canonized. But most people don't really.
We still canonize people in this day and time?
Yes, they're always canonizing people. Anyway, my point was that I think psychologically it's very much like people that start getting cold feet before a wedding. I think it's the same forces at play, where you understand that your life is about to change in a very big and serious way. And however sure of it you were, you got to start thinking, okay, but like once I do this, this is it. Though nothing lasts forever, not even November rain, right? So, anyway, David confronts the Monsignor because Sister Andrea goes to him. She's like, basically, they're going to give Leland supervisory powers over the three of you. And David is like, the hell you say? That is insane. Nobody's going to do that. And he asks the Monsignor about it. Of course, it's already, yeah, sure, that's what's happening. Yes, it's done. The deed is done. Like, David's like, really, what the fuck? At this point, if I'm David, all these doubts I was having, I'd be like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
they're real.
Fuck this. Why would I want to be a priest for you insane people? I can make the church better. No, you can't. They're crazy. You can't fix this.
Can't fix stupid.
You can't fix this. You can't fix people that are like, oh, you were the guy I serve, right? You were the servant of his mortal enemy for your entire life until 2 days ago. But I'm totally going to give you power over one of the church's most important missions. That makes total fucking sense.
Yeah.
Yes, how can you work for people like that? Come on now. I do like the fact that it does feel like something that happens in corporate life a lot.
Yes.
Which is some motherfucker just strolls in and, oh, you're the manager now. Oh, okay. It's like...
I always look at those cases as blackmail, but we have yet to actually hear Leland blackmail Monsignor.
Yeah, I don't know. I
don't know if there's something there.
Do we ever get clarity on the power he has over Monsignor? It's just Monsignor is just doop, doop, doop.
Monsignor's
just a doop, doop. Anyway, Kristen's with Kurt again. She's apologizing for going off the rails the last time, accusing him of everything.
She stopped taking the medicine, so the hallucinations have stopped.
Yes. And he's like, okay, that's cool, man. And, as soon as I come back from my long-ass vacation, you can start being my patient again. But...
In the meantime,
I'm going to have to refer you out because I am going on a long-ass vacation. But I do have a patient.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind you talking to. So...
I mean, there's all this mixed up. It's like, can't be my patient. I'll refer you. Oh, but I got a patient that I need you to talk to.
He's going on leave, so he's not going to have any patients.
Yeah.
But he's got somebody who's like, this is up your alley. It's a guy named Nathan. His wife passed recently. She was young. She was 42, 43.
Yes.
A sudden heart attack or something. And since then, he's been seeing a shape in his house. And there's this presence there. And it seemed to be targeting him at first, but now it is targeting his son, Elijah, who has broken an arm.
Yes.
So they're like, okay, well, that sounds right up our alley.
Yeah.
Let's go check it out. David does have doubts now, seeing Monsignor being a fool. He has these doubts that he's exploring. He goes back to this other church that the other guy that had formerly been a priest that left and started his own church. David has like a lot of the same questions because he's asking the guy, why would you leave instead of change the church? David still's got in his head that he could possibly change the church. And the guy points out rightfully, 2,000 years. It's a lot of stuff to change. Like, if this is inertia, dude, like, what are we doing here?
And he makes a good, maybe not a great point, but it's a funny point. Mm-hmm. Italians would never allow a black pope.
I understand where he's coming from on that. I don't think the Italians would be the problem. I think the politics of the Catholic Church are very complicated, multi-layered things, and I think most people, Catholic or not, only understand about a tiny part of it.
Yeah.
But now this guy, okay, well, we're going to get a lot of this. They do a lot of talk about, this guy's clearly into liberation theology. You can do these prayers and these exorcisms and all, and that's all great and well. That's one part of it. But, I mean, the theme of the show is that you have these overt manifestations of the things that people understand as evil, demons and things like that. But then you have the everyday manifestations of it. Racism, redlining, poverty, all this other stuff. And he's saying, well, like, that's the evil that I am fighting here. What side of that do you fall? Well, like, yes, isn't racism just kind of if you believe in demons and stuff like that, it's not very hard to say bigotry and racism could be a manifestation of a demonic influence, None of it's very crazy once you start putting it into that context. But this guy is saying, I choose to fight it on the street, where it's actually affecting people's lives, not in the high tower of a church. You're arguing about how many angels can dance on a head of a pin. This is where, yeah, while you're exercising one person, I'm feeding 100 people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he was pretty convincing. If I was David, after I just saw Leland taking over, and then I go see this guy actually doing some good, I'd be like, you know what? Yeah. And then I can have sex with Kristen if I come here. But anyway, the trio goes to Nathan's house. Ben explains something interesting to Kurt. I can't believe Kurt, this well-educated, successful psychiatrist, has not heard of this before, but he hasn't, and neither have I until Ben said it, that sometimes people conflate noise with a visual thing. Like you'll hear a strange noise, and for some reason you see it as a strange thing instead of a strange noise. I thought it was weird.
That is really weird.
There's conditions where people, like, they hear colors or they smell sounds and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's what he's talking about here. But anyway.
I would like to smell colors.
I would too. Especially purple.
Yeah.
Like, I always talk about, like, when you have grape flavored candy and stuff, it doesn't taste like grape, it just tastes like purple. But anyway, Kurt, the prestigious psychiatrist, has never heard of any of this. So this is all new to him. Elijah's skin is itching. This is going to be a problem later. And there's a weird stain on the ceiling. So
let's go investigate that.
Let's check that out. There was a water leak. They're like, no, that is not a water leak. That is not for roof damage. That is not what that is. So they go, hilariously.
Send David up to the attic.
Ben goes first, and he gets nailed by the attic door. It's one of those ones that slide out and into the stairs, and yeah. I know Kurt's ultimate arc here, but it's just this whole thing where it's like, the synergy between the spiritual and the psychological. Like, where is this coming from? What are you doing, Kurt?
Yeah.
This attic is wild. This attic is like a whole nother house on top of the house.
Yes, but there's a very bad smell.
There's a very bad smell.
Stinky.
And it's making me insane as I'm watching this scene. There's this terrible smell. Everybody's just touching everything with their bare hands. No, they didn't have gas masks on at this point.
No.
No gas mask. And like, terrible smell, weird stain. And he's getting closer and closer to the terrible smell and touching more things. What did you do? Okay, so best case scenario. There's a dead body in here somewhere and you're destroying evidence. That's the best case scenario. The other possibility, which is probably more likely, is that, there's some portal of disease in here, and now you're just touching everything.
A portal of disease. So, yeah, we're going there. How exactly do you get through this portal of disease? Where's the opening? Where's the closing? Are we going to a different century? I mean, what disease are we catching?
We don't know.
What year are we in?
We don't know. Don't know, because nobody's wearing their gloves. It could be anything. It could be leprosy. It could be bubonic plague.
Do you know malaria got spread in one certain village because they did not wear... They wore gloves when they could, when they had them, but it was because they used the needles to give the malaria shots to people, but then used the same needles to give the vitamin D shots to pregnant women. So pregnant women were also getting malaria because they could only clean their needles once a week.
Well, that's what I was say. This is a problem of when, people do not have adequate medical equipment. It's not that they don't know better. They know better. They know what they're supposed to do, but they have limited supplies, and they do the best they can with what they have.
Yeah, it was nuns doing it because they didn't have enough to clean their needles every day, so they cleaned them once a week.
So, yeah, I mean, this is not about people not knowing better. This is not about people being stuck in the Middle Ages or anything. This is about people not having adequate medical supplies because of probably some stupid reason that is not their fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, off my soapbox, let's go. So they're honing in on this terrible smell. It's getting worse and worse. And they see this little chest. And Kristen's like, don't fuck with that. What are we doing? Like, Kristen's the voice of reason.
Yeah, and there's rope tying this chest closed. And I'm like, when they start undoing the rope, I am sitting there and I'm like, Why are you doing that? It's tied closed for a reason. Don't open it.
At least okay. Yes, this is the same problem they had with that little coffin in Mother of Tears. If something's all chained up and shit, like, it's chained up for a reason. Stop.
Leave it.
Leave
Yeah.
it. If you think it's a dead body, call the police. If you think it's something else, don't fuck with it.
Call a doctor.
Anyway, he
Got the portal here.
Got the portal. He doesn't listen, opens it, and it's like this thing wrapped in a bunch of plastic. Again, this is your final warning.
Don't unwrap it. Why? Why are you doing this?
Stop it.
Nobody ever listens to us. We sit here yelling at the TV, telling these people to stop, and they won't do it.
Kristen does. Kristen's like, what? Yes.
Kristen's the only reasonable
everybody's insane.
one.
I'm going away. But they unwrap this thing, and it is a little sailor doll, but it's Eddie. I mean, it looks like Eddie, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, we know what these dolls do.
Demon doll.
Burn some money in front of it. Okay, we cut to Lynn, who is babysitting.
Yeah, when did all that happen?
Lynn's babysitting. She's playing hide and seek with this weird little kid. He just kind of disappears, and I'm like, Lynn, I understand you're just kind of a kid yourself still, but this is no good. He's been quiet for too long. Nothing good is happening right now.
Yeah.
She finds him in a room, not hiding. He's just sitting there looking at this chair. And she's like, why aren't you hiding? Well, there's something in the chair. Kind of see the shape of it. And he's like, well, my friend said I can't play.
Yeah, he said I need to sit down.
Okay. I mean, look, I remember babysitting when I was that age. I'd be like, all right, if you want to just sit there, I'm getting paid either way. I don't care. Like, do what you're going to do. Anyway, we go back to Nathan's house, back to the disease portal. Yes, okay, so this is a doll that Nathan's wife had gotten at a swap meet. Like a gremlin, it came for rules for care. In the meantime, Lynn has brought home her own Eddie doll that she got from this. It was the little kid's friend that was sitting in the chair telling him he couldn't play. So there's dolls all over the place now. They're everywhere.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
The next day, Cheryl is dropping the girls off at school. Edward shows up. Let's talk about what happens here. I have questions. So he comes to her. He says, like, we're going to play a game. You're going to do 2 things for me, and then I'm going to do 1 invaluable thing for you. I don't know why you would still trust this guy in particular with these vague promises. I'd be like, no, no. Unroll the money and fan it out so I can see it's not just a bunch of ones wrapped in a 20. What's going on here?
Yeah, exactly.
But she doesn't do that. They get to this office building. He's like, put on these sunglasses and work on this puzzle. It's like this little slide puzzle. And there's this guy, Asa. And you're not to even acknowledge his presence. He does not exist until you hear the word daffodil, and then you're going to get up and slap him. I'm like, okay, this sounds fun. Okay. So they're going up there in the elevator. I don't know. Does he say something to her about taking off her pants or taking off his pants? He says something.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it was.
It was weird. Anyway, the couple that Lynn had been babysitting for, they show up at Kristen's, and they are upset. They want the doll back. And Kristen's like, well, yeah, hey, you know what? We'll look around the house, and I'll call you and let you know. Like, we want it back now. Like, we need it right now.
And she's like, Lynn's asleep. You're going to have to wait.
Like, settle down.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm sensitive about this. They go right for Laura and Lila, and they're like, well, y'all are always taking our stuff. I'm like, the youngest always gets blamed.
Always.
Always, no matter what. So David and Andrea are talking, right? And he asks her, I think this is a great question, does it bother you that you'll never be Pope? And she's like, does it bother you that you might be?
Yeah, I thought that was great.
So here we get the story about this was a man that had been in love with Andrea before she became a nun, I guess. And she became a nun. And he went on with his life. He got married. He had children. One day he went into a Wendy's on his lunch break, ordered a cheeseburger, went to his car, ate the cheeseburger, and shot himself, killed himself. He was in the middle of divorce. His kids didn't talk to him anymore. Like, he was alone.
Yep.
But he still had her picture and phone number in his wallet. That's why they called her. That's how she even knew it happened, because that was all he had in his wallet.
Yep.
After 30 years. This is hard. She doesn't seem particularly bothered by it. I think her point was that it was a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, she could be sad about it, but like, what can she do? But her point is that we're going to give things up, and it's not always going to be great. But this is spiritual warfare here, you know. And you're not. She's like, you're not alone. This would not help me sleep at night. You're not alone because God is here. Okay, cool. And the devil is too. Okay, that's not okay.
No.
I don't like that. Like that.
No.
Can we do something else then? Okay, David has found out. I don't know when David found this information out, but he found out this pastor at this church that had left the Catholic Church and started his own church. I guess this guy had fallen in love with a nun. I'm like, okay. All right. I mean, that's cool, man. David, why are you upset?
I think he left the priesthood because he fell in love.
Yeah, that's fine.
So-
But, like, I mean, yeah, but, like, what's... David, let him... Is he happy? Is he still doing good stuff? Okay, then leave him alone.
Yeah.
And this is... They have this long discussion about the real evils of things. And he does, straight up here, calls the exorcisms, they're performative, and he calls them comic book Christianity. I'm like, this is one of the better conversations of the whole series.
Yeah.
Because it is two very different perceptions of what Christianity is supposed to be doing, you know.
Yep.
I thought it was good. I mean, I thought it was good. Yeah. He's like basically, look at all the exorcists. Like, they're all just like, they couldn't make it in Hollywood, so here they are.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
To the extent that David is doing the work he does with the assessor program, I guess it's basically he's living in a procedural. He's kind of like the Holy X-Files. But it's still kind of low profile. But it's not like The Exorcist, which they get their scuffed up briefcase and they get to shout at people, you know.
Yeah.
He doesn't do any of that.
No.
But anyway, so I thought it was a good discussion. It is not enough to sway David at this point.
No.
Okay. We get a call because Elijah has tried to saw off his arm. What? Why was he doing that? I think they said that he tried to saw off his arm, but when we meet him, it's really that he was trying to cut off his cast because he thought there was bugs under it.
Yeah, and he cut his arm.
Yeah.
While doing it.
Yeah. So they go over there, and there's these weird things on the wall. Like, Ben's got his little special light, and there's these weird patterns on the wall. They look very Lovecraftian, is the only word for them.
Yeah.
They, you know, like tentacles and weird shapes and things. So they're like, that's not normal. So they present all this to Monsignor. It's like, well, there's an infestation. We're going to give you this guy, Gregory.
Oh, God.
And they're like, was he a priest or an exorcist? Like, no, but you don't have to be a priest. This is just an infestation. He can clear that. He can be like a lay person. And this guy comes in as if to make the other pastor's point. This guy comes in, I am Gregory, defeater of demons, blah, blah, blah. I mean, with this long, dramatic hair. He looks like he belongs on like one of those Dracula movies. You know, the vampire hunter.
Yeah.
And David is like, every time I defend the church, I meet someone like this guy. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, but see, David, that's the thing, though, right? That's the thing, David, is this ridiculous church. I'm not like, obviously, this is the fictionalized Catholic Church, right? But this fictionalized, ridiculous church, okay, they're allowing Leland to ride roughshod over you. They're bringing in this wild motherfucker. They don't even take themselves seriously. Why should you?
Yep.
And that's what I say. My policy in life, I refuse to take anybody more seriously than they take themselves. So, but David's like, I don't know, man. Gotta keep going. So, Lexus and Lila have the doll. Lexus puts it where she had seen Cheryl in the garage with Eddie's altar set up. And she starts to bow to it. And Lila's like,
No.
What are you doing? Don't do that, you weirdo. All right. This is, okay. We're going to talk about this. So, Cheryl and Edward are at dinner.
Wait, how did you feel? What exactly and how did you feel about after Cheryl slapped?
Yeah.
They get into the elevator.
Yeah.
And they're getting ready to go. They're going down. And Edward stopped the elevator.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about these two. I don't know what's
I'm
going
not
on.
sure what.
I don't know how. I don't have enough information about what the fuck is going on to feel any way about anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. Okay. I was curious because I was like, what are we supposed to make of this?
Okay. I mean, like that. I feel like they're just. Are they going to be fucking? I guess. I mean, I guess if you want to. Yeah, because she went in there and did exactly what he said.
Yeah.
And slapped the shit out of Asa when he said daffodil, and then they walked out and got friendly on the elevator. And now they're at dinner. We're doing more daffodiling, except for this time. I'm like, you can't. Okay, no. I mean, you're going to get away with it in a boardroom, I guess, but you're out in public at dinner. You can't just roll up on people and slap them. You're definitely getting cuffed.
Yeah, well, she had proof of something.
She had proof. She slaps down this little test with STT test results in front of this guy, and his wife is there, and she's like, "Oh, it's fine, honey. You know, everything's okay. You don't got it was all clear." And
Yeah, it was crazy.
okay, this is, I guess, where I don't understand, and this will come up again in the next episode. I wish I understood. I think they leave it the way they do so that they could have the end they had.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense to me. Everything we've seen of Cheryl, if he had just gone to her, when he did the daffodil thing with Asa, it feels like that was just your that was like, here's your cue to go slap him.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It was like, this is what you're going to do, and then when I say daffodil, go slap, that's your cue. Instead of me turning to you and say, hey, Cheryl, go slap him.
Yeah.
Yeah. This time it feels like she's under hypnosis.
Yes.
Because they're just eating and having fun. All of a sudden he's like, daffodil, and she goes over and
Yeah.
and which he didn't have to do. He could have just, hey, go slap the STD. So she's under hypnosis. And I'm like thinking, everything we've seen is Cheryl. I feel like if he had just said, hey, I'm going to give you this thing, and tells her what it is, but you got to do two things for me first, she would have done it voluntarily. Fuck, she might have done it voluntarily just for the love of the game, you know?
Yes.
I'm not, like I said, it just doesn't. We're going to, as we go through this rewatch, and we'll see if it sits any better with me. But I'm just like, why would she not want to do this? She doesn't care. I mean, the things we've seen this woman do, she doesn't care. Okay, back at Nathan's house. Yes, this guy is being ridiculous. What's he called? Gregory. He's like, Zophar, my old adversary. Who the fuck is Zophar? What are we talking
Yeah.
about? Kurt is recording the whole thing. And Chris is like, what are you doing? Do not record this. This will make us look ridiculous.
Yes.
I almost died. Kurt sees a shape in the hallway.
I know.
And it comes towards him. And he's
Yes.
like just staring like, what the fuck? And it just boops him.
Yep.
And then he's like, ah.
Yeah, he screams because Kristen comes up behind him. She's like, you got a little something on your nose there. It was hilarious. I was like, yeah, Kurt is the one who needs to see a demon.
Yeah. Yeah, because he's like, what?
What?
Boop.
Kristen told you they existed?
Yeah. Well, I know. We know what happens. Well, anyway, we'll get to Kurt's little storyline. Anyway, Cheryl and Edgar in their car. And this is the invaluable thing he wants to give her, is teaching you a lesson about your inner strength. And she's like, do not fuck with me. No, really.
Yeah, she's like trying to get out of the car now. She's like, fuck you.
But what it is, it's the head. Okay. All right. I hate to be this person. So I read a lot about people when they're developing books or stories or whatever that are not based in reality. So there's some magical realism or some fantasy. And before you write these things, you have to have like a belief system in place that the world is going to hang on. So you're not just pulling one over on the reader, right? You're not just saying, hey, wouldn't it be convenient if this person could boop in and out of existence at page 500, even though we have no background for them to do it before.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of what I feel about the demonology in this show. Is they're just like, wouldn't this be cool? Let's make this a thing now. Okay, why? Why would it be a thing? Because I probably wouldn't have even noticed it or cared, except for they turn right around the next episode and tell us something different.
Yeah.
So he gives her this head in a jar, this tiny little shrunken head in a jar.
It's his great-grandfather.
His great-grandfather. This is her signal. He has now chosen her to be his heir. I'm like, y'all are the same age. What are you talking about? I guess the power is in having the head. This has been going on for generations. The next person in line gets the head. It's her sigil. He tells her, this is your sigil. And so he gets the head. And great. Awesome. Now, what am I supposed to do with this? I can't put it on a shelf. Can't.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a little grim.
Alexis would be like, hey, what's that? Can I get one? We do have a moment, though. But anyway, so let's put a pin in this idea of carrying around Grandpa's head as being the source of your power as a demon. So is Cheryl a demon now?
We're never going to know.
We're never going to know. It's horseshit. I love this show, but the demonology is horseshit. Anyway. Nathan, he wants the doll back. He wants the Eddie doll back.
He thinks he should give it gifts.
Well, his wife would give Eddie gifts, right? And to keep the doll happy. And he's like, that is insane. We're going to wrap that doll up and put it upstairs. And so she's like, I don't really want to, but she did it to appease him. Next thing you know, she dies out of nowhere. So he's like, done the math. He said, okay, that's obviously what the problem was. So I want Eddie back so I can give him presents and my son can stop trying to cut off his arm. How's that? Let's do that. David and Kristen are in David's room. And he admits to her that he's been struggling with the looming ordination and all that.
And she tells him that he offers balance to people.
Yes. Before she was like, I don't want you to because I'll miss you, but then he'll still be around. They'll still be friends. And they're like, if this hadn't happened, would we have been in love? Yes,
and
probably.
She's like, yes.
Definitely. Y'all be getting busy at this moment if he wasn't going to get ordained.
But she tells him to go get ordained.
Yes. So Cheryl finds her. Cheryl's got her sigil. She comes home to her garage, and there's another Eddie there. It's not her Eddie.
Now she got two Eddies.
Okay, and again, we got two Eddies and a head, right?
And she's drawing on the floor.
Two Eddies and a head. I would just be like, okay, so I got two cursed dolls and Grandpa's head.
The way you say it, though, you're like, two Eddies and a head. I mean, it's like a punchline.
It is like a punchline. Because then she takes it, starts drawing on the floor, and puts them on these different... And she's like, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
I'm like, oh, no, that is not the Father, Son, and the
how?
Holy Spirit.
How, though? Because if you're going to do this, try to get cute with it. You just have... If the head is the father, I guess, because that's Mima or Pawpaw or whatever... Okay. Then you have two sons. How do you choose which? Are Eddie and Eddie going to fight about, well, I'm the son and you're the Holy Spirit? I don't know why she did it. Why did she do it? And it was supposed to be like the 3 stars thing that we had seen last season. But why?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know.
It doesn't even... I'm putting on my David Lynch abstract symbolism thinking cap, and I'm like, what does this mean? Y'all, Inland Empire made more sense than whatever the fuck is going on here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it's supposed to mean. Weird, creepy. Don't know. Sorry.
I'm having fun. I love this show. I love Cheryl. I'm having a lot of fun with it, but doesn't make it lick of sense. It's vibes, man. The whole, I think the conspiracy stuff will ultimately make sense. And a lot of the day-to-day stuff that the trio goes through and their relationship with each other, all that makes sense. When we're diving into Leland and Cheryl's world, it's just vibes. It's just, let's do something weird and creepy.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it. More of that weird, creepy stuff. But about this episode, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I don't. This episode had a lot in it, but a lot of it was just like, what?
What is happening?
What? Yeah, I mean, I spent a lot of the episode just wondering if I had missed an episode somewhere.
That's what it felt like. Did I nod off somewhere and they explained what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah. But no, I have nothing else.
All right. Well, then we're in for a doozy at the finale next week with episode 13.
Yeah.
I got so many feelings about it. But we will talk about that next week. In the meantime, check out our other podcast, Deconstructing the Dark Passenger, which is a podcast about all things Dexter, and Outside Food and Drink, which is our movie podcast. We are in the middle of Giallo month with that. So if you love Giallo movies, or maybe you don't know a lot about Giallo movies and you would like to know more about Giallo movies,
Check them out.
check them out. And join us on our other podcast. And until then, you can also drop us a line, follow us on our socials.
Tell us how you feel about dolls.
Please explain the thing Cheryl was doing at the end to me. If you know what the hell is going on and what we were supposed to get from that and what it meant for anybody, please let me know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're worshiping some Edwards.
I don't care what you do. You know what? You do you. Find your happiness. If you got Papa's head on your bed, I don't care. That's fine. But explain it to me. Is that legit? Is that legit?
Oh.
I just want to know. Anyway, until next week, when we talk about the season 2 finale. Later.
Later.